Hey y'all, so I'm back with another video. This time I made blackened salmon with Cajun pasta. Y'all, delicious. Let's get into it. So here I am showing you the ingredients, all of the spices and butter and cheeses and noodles and veggies I'm gonna be using. I didn't even use the butter, so just omit that if you want. Cheese, garlic, and my salmon. Alright, so I'm going to start by adding a little olive oil to my cast iron skillet. I don't know why I use a cast iron skillet for this dish, but you can use like a regular non-stick skillet about the size of this cast iron skillet. So, but the cast iron skillet works just as well. So, if you don't have a non-stick cooking skillet, you can use any skillet you have. Just make sure it's like non-stick. So what I'm doing now is about to season the pasta water with a little bit of complete seasoning and a little olive oil. I know you can't see that, it's off camera, but you just want to season your water before adding your noodles as well. And that's what I was doing on this clip. And I'm gonna put the seasoning back up. I didn't use that seasoning for this dish, but I do like to use it on the salmon. It tastes really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and start preparing the salmon. This is my first time cooking all in one pan too, besides the noodles. We're gonna pat that excess wetness off of the salmon and start seasoning it up. I'm just checking my skillets to make sure it's getting hot. And I put the top back on my noodle pan so the water can come to a boil. I'm going to start with pepper. You can season your salmon however you want. It's just showing you what I use to get the blackened flavor and taste and look. I'm just going to go in with the pepper like so. I love black pepper. And gonna go in now with the onion powder. The onion powder comes out so weird. It doesn't shake out. You have to like squeeze it out. And the cousin garlic powder. I was trying to yeah, there we go. I was trying to focus my camera as well. So I'm gonna add the garlic powder as well. Boom, boom, boom. I like that little sprinkle action. Y'all saw that? And the smoked paprika. I love smoked paprika. It's so good. Nice flavor. Nice aroma as well. Go ahead and add that. And it wasn't spicy. It wasn't salty. Okay, so in the little blackened seasoning, when I open this, it just spilled out everywhere. You don't have to add that much. Whoa. You don't have to add that much to your top of your you don't have to add that much like I did. You can add like half of that to the first fillet. Just press it in, you know, to make sure all the seasonings stay, because we're gonna flip them over in a minute to season the backside. And I'm gonna show you how I season the backside. It's totally different from the front, but you can season it however you want. Alright, and I got these salmon fillets, I think from HEB. Any fillets, salmon fillets of your choice. So this is what I'm going to season the back with, the Cajun seasoning. Just sprinkle a little, that's it. And that'll be all the seasonings I use for the salmon. As you notice, when I cook, I don't add salt, because I feel like the stuff that I'm cooking with, especially like Cajun seasoning or blackened seasoning, has enough salt for me, but you can add salt if you want. I just feel like I don't need to cook with it if you're using other things that have salt in it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just turn it back over, press everything, all the seasonings back in, and just checking to see if my skillet is gonna be hot enough. I'm gonna add a little bit of Italian seasoning. I love adding this to anything. It makes it taste so good. Just like so, like that. Baby, the sprinkle action. It's a sprinkle action for me. Okay, so gonna go showing you how the salmon looks, all seasoned and ready to go. And that's parchment paper that I have the salmon fillets on. I'm just showing you my water. It has came to a boil, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the noodles. I'm using linguine. You can use any noodle you want, bow tie, fettuccine, thin spaghetti, whatever you want to add. You can use any noodles you want. And I am so proud of myself, y'all. I did not break the noodles, baby. I just added them to the pot like so. I didn't break them. I'm getting there, y'all. I'm getting there. But yes, I use like half the box because it's only me and my 2 kids. You'll see them later in the video. I just added like half of it. Half of the box of noodles and just let it do what it do. Yeah, just me here adding. You can break the noodles, you can not, you can use any noodles you want. I'm trying to find the noodles that everyone's using, like the long, I don't know what kind of noodles they're called. I can't figure it out, but I'm trying to find those noodles. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. The long, like, rectangle, ridgy noodles. I don't know what they're called, but they look so yummy. So I'm just stirring the noodles in here. Everything, and letting them all get in the water. And here's my salmon. That's the front side. Now I have the skin side down, even though it's not skin on there. The back side down. This is what it should look like. And I chopped it. I'm gonna start preparing my sauce. I chopped up grape tomatoes, green onion, and I added it to the pan after I took the salmon out and let it just cook down and get soft. And I'm gonna go in with some garlic, and that smells so good. I should have added more tomatoes, but I think I had like a handful of grape tomatoes. You can use however many you want. And I'm just adding the garlic, letting this get all intertwined and flavored and good. I didn't rinse the skillet out. I just took the salmon out and I drained some of the oil out and put the tomatoes and the onion in there. Sorry. So the pause in this video is me draining the noodles. And right now I'm just mixing the garlic in with the tomato, onion, and pepper. It smells so good, looks so good. And now get ready to add the cream. This is a heavy whipping cream I like to use. I always use this one. I tried to use other ones. I did not. I don't like the flavor of the other heavy creams. It's too sweet, so I just used the Great Value, and I use all of it because I put a lot of noodles. I'm cooking a lot of noodles. You don't have to use all of it if you don't want. So I'm just mixing everything in together like so. And normally when I make my my cream sauce, I make it in another pot, but I'm learning that is, and I just let this cook so it gets hot. The cream warms up, and once the cream warms up, start adding your cheese. Don't add your cheese to the cold cream, it'll be a mess. So just adding the Parmesan cheese, any Parmesan cheese of your like or your choice and liking. And I was trying not to use a fork. You're gonna see in this video, like I used 3 different utensils for the sake of the video, but I could not get jiggy with this spatula, so you'll see what I eventually ended up using later on. And you just let the you just stir and mix. You just really want to stir the cheese until it's well melted inside the cream. Yep, that's what I ended up using. my handy dandy fork. I went to town, baby, with this fork. See, look, I'm doing the most already. I went to town with this fork and this cast iron skillet. This cast iron skillet is pretty new. I didn't have to really worry about anything I'm scraping up from the bottom or anything like that. So just be careful with the kind of the pan you're using for this. See, I went back with the spatula. And I'm trying to, it didn't work. I started off using a fork and I went to all these other different utensils, but ended up back using the fork. So you just stir until your cheese is all melted inside. This is the foundation of your Cajun pasta, the sauce. So this video is going to be lengthy on the part of the sauce because it's the foundation. It's the part that takes the most work when you're making a pasta, if you're making your own sauce. So don't have this too high unless everything will burn. Everything will burn. So have it like on like a 4, 5-ish, and just continue to stir like your life depends on it, because that's what you're about to see me do. I'm trying to incorporate and melt all the cheese that I added. So you're gonna see me stirring a lot, and this is what you should do as well if you're gonna make this recipe. You have to stir that cheese in with the sauce so it doesn't get clumpy and stick to the pan. You have to stir it in so it can melt. So keep stirring. It's gonna be a lot of stirring, but it's worth it. That's how you make the sauce. I'm trying to think of what they call this. Like, I think it's called like a bechamel sauce or whatever. But me, baby, a sauce, Alfredo sauce. I can't call it Alfredo sauce right here because I'm not making Alfredo. It's like a cream sauce, your cream sauce. And I'm just making sure I'm not getting anything out the bottom of the pan, because baby, I was going to town with this fork. Do you hear me? You can use a whisk. You can use anything. I just prefer to use a fork because that's what I know to use. So here we go. Mix it. You're going to go clockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise, side to side. You need to mix the cheese. Melt the cheese. Incorporate the cheese and the cream. You have to. This is important when you're making your own sauce for your pasta. Like you see me now going counterclockwise, and I was going clockwise at first. You just have to get in there. This is actually live footage. Like, this is me whipping. Do you understand? It's me. And you can see that the cheese is doing what it's supposed to do. It's melting. And I'm just cleaning up a little bit on the stove. I can't have stuff all over the stove. Just have to do some type of cleaning. And normally when I make this, I cut it off when the cream gets hot, but I left it on this time just because I'm gonna add the pasta back in there. And it's me adding some mozzarella cheese in here. Add any cheese. You can add any cheese you want to your sauce, just based on your flavoring. And a little more Parmesan cheese as well. And go in and mix. You can add your seasonings first and then come back and add your cheese, but I like to add the cheese first because it'll determine how much seasoning I'm going to use, because the cheese already has a lot of, you know, like sodium and salt in it. So I like to add my cheese first because it helps thicken the sauce and it gives it a flavor as well. You build on top of that flavor. All right, so now that we have stirred and mixed all the cheeses, I'm going to add that black pepper in here. This is important too, flavoring your sauce. Garlic powder. I love garlic powder. And see my kids in the background having the time of their life, child. And onion powder, like so. And don't worry about if you're thinking, oh, it's too much seasoning, oh, it's gonna be salty. It's not gonna be salty at all. And you go back in with your whisk or your fork and you just mix that like you gotta get that all in there. Every piece of seasoning, you have to mix it in with the cheese, the veggies, and your cream. Like you can tell the cream is the sauce is starting to thicken up. That's good. That's what we want. So just keep adding, and just keep stirring and mixing the seasonings in. You see, I'm going counterclockwise, clockwise, whatever way you want. You have to stir. This is like essential when you're making your own pasta sauce. Stirring. You have to get all those flavors incorporated and mixed, especially when you're making a cream sauce like this. So a lot of stirring. If you don't like doing a lot of stirring, then this recipe is not for you. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in with a little more seasoning, smoked paprika. This is going to give me that Cajun flavor that I'm looking for. This round of seasoning. And a little Cajun seasoning. Any Cajun seasoning of your choice. There we go with that. And I added another one. You don't have to add blackening seasoning to here, but I do because it gives it a good flavor as well. But I will say that the combination of the two makes it the sauce a little spicy. Just be aware that if you're cooking it with kids, I would say that the spice level is probably like a 4, maybe not too spicy, but it does have a little kick. And also those spices I just added are going to give you that really like orangey, Cajun-y color. As you can see, the edges, then I'm still mixing everything in. So this is the sauce. This is basically it. I probably add I'll show you what I add, but this is how you want your sauce to look. Your cream sauce, your pasta sauce, whatever sauce you want to call it. And you just go in and make sure you're mixing everything all together. Like you put the hand on the hip and you get some mixing, baby. As you can see, I'm just making sure nothing is sticking in this pan because, like I said, I never made a sauce in this pan. And I'm just scraping those seasonings off the fork. I'm gonna start getting ready to add the pasta. You really can cut the out. You can cut it off down, but because now you're really kind of done, you're just going to add the pasta here. So I'm just going and adding some Italian seasoning. Get my kids in the back. I love my babies. Alright, so stir that in. All good. It smells so good. It's so hot. It's going to be so delicious. Like, I haven't made pasta in a while either, so my kids wanted some pasta, child. So just stir all your seasonings in. Make sure, knock it off on the fork. Make sure everything's well combined. When you tap that fork on the skillet like that, oh, you know you coming to the end, baby. I'm about to add these noodles. Yes. They love watching me. Alright, so now you add your noodles. I should have left a little pasta water in the pot with the noodles so they won't be so sticky, but it's okay. I didn't leave the noodles in that pot that long anyway. So you just add your noodles to your sauce, mix and toss like so. Yes, honey, it's so delicious. Mix them in like this. You can stop here or you can add more noodles. It depends how you want your sauce. But I honestly will stop here. That's really enough noodles. But for me, you know, just so me and my kids can have a little leftovers, I just went on ahead and added the remaining noodles in here. Just mix everything, toss everything like so. And I normally don't make my pasta this way. I decided to just try something different today, so I won't have that many dishes to wash, and my dishwasher will be on all night. Speaking of dishwasher, I need to go turn mine on now. But you just mix everything. Make sure you get all your tomatoes and cream in there with the noodles. Grab it and mix it in. Like, I love these tongs for this reason here. So I'm just mixing, shaking off the excess. And of course, they're ready to be my taste testers. Don't you see them? Will you want to be a taste tester? So yes. They like it. Of course they would. Look at Jameer. So yeah, so just mix everything. Just for you can add whatever you want to add to your pasta. You can add meat, like broccoli or anything. I wanted to add some crawfish tails, but I know that they probably wouldn't eat it with the crawfish tails. So look at Zane, y'all. That's why I didn't add it this time. But I'm gonna go in with a little chives and leave some greenery. You can use fresh chives. I didn't have any, so I'm just using my dried ones. And I'm gonna add a little parsley as well, the remaining that I had. Like this is so easy to make, y'all. The bulk of the work is the sauce. That's it. And showing you the parsley that I'm using. Not dry parsley, you know, it's for garnish or whatever. Like so. And just mix that all in. Like, it's so yummy, so creamy, so delicious. Eat you some garlic bread or something and you'll be set. I'm going in the stove now to get my salmon fillets out. My boys don't eat salmon, of course. It was mainly for me. They had pasta with broccoli on the side, but you just place your salmon on top. And if I was to make this again, I would add crawfish tails, and I would probably cut the salmon up in bites instead of fillets. I mean, you could try it that way, but here's how I did mine. It's not anyone's recipe. This is how I cook mine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a million recipes like this out there, but this is just how I cook my pasta and salmon. And I added parsley on top and Parmesan Romano cheese on top as well. Yes, looks amazing, right? All right, so just clean up those around the skillet. Oh, yum. I want some right now, but it's too late. So this is how it looks. It was delicious. It was so good. Like I said, the spice level probably was a 4 on a scale from 1 to 10. And here's the final plate. Yes, honey. All right, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.